Hello Pisces, we are here with your reading for August. I hope that you're all doing well. Before we get into the reading, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. Okay, so I'm seeing that there is a new chapter that is starting for you, and it looks like you are just learning about it, could be gathering information about it, can be something that you're trying to get to know, get to understand. You could be researching something along the lines of that. So yeah, something that you're looking into, could be looking for information, talking to people about it, or talking to a person about it. Could be like having an important phone call or like emails, stuff like that. Applications could be involved. This can be relevant for you wherever Pisces falls in your chart. For example, if Pisces is your rising sign, this can have to do with something physically that you're going to go through. If Pisces is your second house, then it can have to do with your resources, your finances. Say Pisces is your fourth house, it can have to do with like living situations or your family, stuff like that. We're starting off with the High Priestess. Definitely being encouraged right now to go off of instinct, to listen to your gut, and also use any esoteric means that you need to get the information that you need. May also be sort of keeping things to yourself as well, because High Priestess is somebody that sort of like watches what's going on, may not say a whole bunch about it, but knows everything that's happening. Could be something here that you're tapping into. Information, for some of you, even secret information that you have, or information that maybe nobody else knows that you have, or just like esoteric information that you have access to, is actually going to help you make a choice that you need to make. This is you deeply, deeply, deeply following and trusting your intuition. Wait, I'm seeing something here. Oh my goodness, what is this? If I can think of the name of it, I'll let you know. It's like, it almost looks like an olive, but very, very tiny. And it usually has, like a vine on it. Capers. I think that's what the name is. I'm seeing that here. Capers make me think like Mediterranean, Middle Eastern. I'm hearing send it. You may be trying to decide whether or not you are going to talk to somebody about something. Oh, okay, so like this, right? You may have acquired information, but you may sort of want to not reveal your sources, and so that could have an impact on like whether or not you mention something to someone. But you want to make sure that you're using this information in a way that's aligned. Just be mindful of that, rather than getting caught up in something that's going to come back around to you in a way that you don't want. Your higher self could also be like warning you about something too. This looks like some hot water that you could find yourself in. It has to do with a relationship of yours, I'm seeing, or somebody that you're close with. if you take a turn with this person, meaning things kind of fall into some maybe toxic territory with this person, then that means that disappointment is going to be manifesting between you and them. For some of you, this could have already happened. If you have somebody in your life that you feel you can't maintain a healthy relationship, I'm also hearing proximity with this person. See? This is a relationship that can feel... It can be something that you lean on rather than... With the devil, right? It's something that can feel like a band-aid and can become a dependency for us. And this is always something to be mindful of. Like, all of us have Pisces in our chart, right? Those of you that have prominent Pisces placements, it can be very easy to find things that you can become dependent on. Like, Pisces archetypally speaks about dependencies. And so whether this be like drugs or alcohol, or it be a relationship that's unhealthy, or codependency, or just like escapism, anything that you can do to numb or to avoid. This can be, your relationship with this person can be something that feels good, but it can also be something that you feel like is not transcendent. You can feel like this is something that kind of keeps you in your lower chakras. And I'm seeing that if you keep like playing with this, what's going to be manifested, like what you're actively going to manifest is disappointment, especially emotionally. And this can also be something where you were like, once this sort of comes to a head, you can be like, I knew that that wasn't the best thing for me. And you may feel regretful of that or want to go backwards at that point. So I don't know if this is just a precautionary thing or this is like already happening, but there can be a part of you that sort of knows that, you know, sometimes we have certain people in our lives that we can't have a relationship with them because every time that they're in our lives, it just turns into something unhealthy, and we just have to know that and have that boundary for ourselves. But until we learn that lesson, we kind of have to go through. This feels like a very karmic relationship that you have with this person. And so it always ends up, it can be too, like you think that you're going to find what you need with this person. You don't, because it's actually a connection that's based in lust or something that is not of the light, right? Because the devil is the distorted attempt to reach the light. So you are trying to reach the light with this person. You are trying to get there and like use the relationship as a vehicle, but it's not going to get you there. But the devil's also something that's hard to break away from. So it's not going to be easy to break away from this connection, but it's also something that you know is not in alignment for you as well. And when you really reflect on that, you know this, because I'm seeing your higher self be very well aware that this is not a healthy relationship that you have. But because of how like addicted you can be to the relationship or to the dynamic or to the cycle that you have with this person and how intense the karmic attraction is, it may be very hard for you to make a decision that you know you need to make with this person, or that eventually you're going to have to make the decision with this person. And I'm seeing something about sending a message to them and letting them know about a change that you'd be manifesting within your life. But there can be a part of you that doesn't want to deal with this. I'm seeing the emblem for Spider-Man here. You see this? It's looking like the symbol for it. You may feel that you're resisting change because you're trying to protect something or someone. Maybe something or someone that you care for. Or that you're in charge of maybe nurturing, something like that. But it feels like no matter which way you slice it, the death card means that this is something unavoidable. This change is unavoidable. But there may be a part of you that doesn't want to maybe like cut your losses at this point. Because there can be like a lot of fear that's connected with this as well. It's like this part of you that so deeply wants to find what you need within this connection, but your higher self is like, you're not going to find it because it's not that type of connection that you have with this person. It's a karmic connection that you have with this person. It's a lower chakra connection. So those deeper feelings that you want to have and that you want to connect with, it's basically like this is a very worldly, like 3D connection that you have with this person, and it's not a higher level connection that you have with this person. Because it's not based in you feeling whole and this other person feeling whole and you guys working together in an integrative way where there's like reciprocity and activation of like all of the chakras together. This is more like I'm in lack, this other person's in lack. When we come together, we feel like we're maybe completing something and it's staying in the lower chakra activation and it's not getting higher. And so this may be satisfying something you need physically, even resource wise. It can be physically for your body as far as like desires and appetite, but when it gets higher, like I'm not seeing anything. I'm just seeing like maybe the first 3 chakras, if that. Like there's definitely nothing even close to the 4th. So that deeper sense of like safety and love and connection, that's not there. This is all more of like a primal type of energy, type of connection. So it's like basically just something that's playing off of what's going on in just like a human sense for you. But when it comes to the deeper stuff, like where your heart is and what it wants to connect with and like a deeper emotional and spiritual fulfillment, you're not going to find that here, because that's not what this relationship is activating chakra wise. And that's also why this is leading you towards an expansion, but you may actually kind of feel like something mentally is being ripped apart, but it's only so more can grow from it, because something kind of needs to be decimated here. To have the Magician and also to have the Death card, this kind of means like manifesting a very challenging situation, but it's needed. Like something needs to become like basically obliterated so you can rise from the ashes, essentially. And there can be this part of you that's like, oh, why do I have to make it this hard? Like I even knew coming into this, because I'm actually seeing you be super intuitive. I'm seeing you be like psychically connected, and I'm seeing you actually, when you tap into your higher self, you know what it is between you and this person. Like I'm seeing you be super, super aware, but that doesn't make it any easier to break away from this or to decide what you need to. It's like you can be aware that you have an addiction and still you can struggle with that thing. Like you can hold both of those truths of, I know that this isn't the healthiest thing for me, and I know that I'm not ultimately going to find the satisfaction that I'm looking for, or that this is not in alignment for me, and also like it feels good that I use this when I want to, because it's like a coping strategy for me, or it's an escape mechanism, you know, or it's something that instantly provides me with relief, even though I know long term I'm not going to find what I'm looking for. And all of those things can be true for you, you know? But more than anything, it's just like definitely being highlighted here that you are an extremely like in touch, intuitive being, and that you are very, very connected with your higher self, and that your higher self knows what it is between you and this person. So when you tap into that, you know what it is and what's going on here. Also too, this connection can bring up fear for you as well, because that's what the devil can activate too, like staying with this person out of fear. And fear doesn't just come through in a like, ooh, I'm scared type of energy. It can be like, how am I going to take care of this without that person? Or what if they go on and then they're interested in somebody else, you know, like fear and possession and like being owned and stuff like that. All of these things that can be brought up that are actually going to create just further chakra blockages for you. Maybe you're going to do some cord cutting and some energy clearing too. to clear out this energy. I'm seeing your higher self isn't affected by it, but you physically may want to clear something out. I'm seeing the moon, Capricorn, Gemini, Mercury. I'm hearing Virgo, and I'm also seeing Scorpio here. Okay, so you're learning more and more about this. Maybe at first you like didn't understand the connection so much with this person, or like how this was sort of playing into your attachment and desire system. And now I'm seeing you gaining more information, accessing more information, being more curious about this. Before you may not have been like analyzing it so much, but now I'm seeing you want to understand it. Some of you may be out of this situation already, and you're like looking back, trying to understand what was going on within the dynamic to better like understand self here. I'm seeing someone very, very tan, like even maybe sunburnt a bit. Okay, so basically it looks like you're going to find whatever information it is that you were looking for, but it seems like it's going to pose some sort of challenge to you, like you kind of hit a wall. It feels like you're going, and then something kind of stops you, and it may help you to like work with somebody actually. Like there may be somebody that you speak with or that you collaborate with that sort of maybe helps you through this. This can be like a friend of yours, or I don't know, somebody that's maybe a sounding board or something like that for you. Yeah, there's something here that maybe I'm seeing you not want to repeat a particular cycle that you've already gone through before. I'm seeing that sort of be at the forefront for you. Let me just take a look at this. I will say this too, like for some of you, you could be High Priestess and the Devil and the Page of Swords can be it can be like using esoteric means to get information, but it can be like gathering so much information and just like talking about it, but not like actually applying any of it. So it's like the difference between learning something and learning about it. Like there may be a lot of picking up information that you're doing right now, but not actually applying it. And that's something that you want to be mindful of, because I'm seeing like a decision that needs to be made that still isn't being made, but you may just be, for example, like you could be watching a bunch of tarot readings and you're getting basically the same message over and over again, but you're not doing anything about it. You know, so it's like the advice is there, it's given. And at this point, you may just be flooding yourself because you already got the message, it was clear, but there may be a part of you that's like, well, I want a different message, you know? And so it could have had you being resistant to actually making a decision that needs to be made about you and somebody else and the dynamic that you have with this person. And I'm seeing something here about a conversation that's being manifested. That's like information going back and forth. And it's about a change that's going to be happening. This is going to be a big change, and this can be something that part of you is like not willing to accept at this point. And that's really going to be the challenge. The challenge is being with something that maybe didn't go how you wanted it to go. And releasing all your models and expectations and allowing something to be what it is. So this is about working to fully embrace and accept a situation for what it is, to allow the full transformation to complete. And that's what I'm seeing be the biggest challenge within this whole thing. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.